You just spent $15,000 on a Tesla Powerwall 3. Your installer said, 12 solar panels will be fine. That'll keep your battery charged. Fast forward 3 months. It's August in Texas. Your battery hits maybe 85% charge on good days. On cloudy days, barely 60%. And you're thinking, did I get ripped off? Do I need more panels? Well, here's the truth, that you probably do need more panels, but not because your installer made a mistake, it's because they answered the wrong question. When you asked how many panels to charge my Powerwall, they calculated panels to charge the battery, but what you actually need is panels to charge your battery and run your home during the day. I'm going to show you the actual math, not the simplified version installers use to avoid sticker shock. I'll break down 2 Texas homes with Powerwalls, show you exactly how many panels they needed, and give you a decision framework so you can evaluate any quote. Welcome back to the IntegrateSun's channel, guys. If you Google how many solar panels for Powerwall, you'll get answers ranging from 10 panels to 20 panels. Tesla's own calculator says one thing. Your neighbor's installer said something completely different. Why are everyone giving different answers? Well, it's because they're making different assumptions about what you're actually trying to do. And most of them are wrong. Here are the 3 things almost every online calculator and installer forgets. Number 1, your home doesn't stop using electricity when the sun comes out. While your panels are generating power during the day, your AC is running, your refrigerator is cycling, your TV might be on. That energy has to come from somewhere, either your panels or your grid connection. Number 2, efficiency losses eat 15 to 20% of your panel production. Inverters aren't 100% efficient. Panels get hot in Texas summers and lose efficiency. A little dust and pollen accumulate. By the time solar energy reaches your battery, you've lost 15 to 20% along the way. And number 3, seasonal variation is huge. That system that barely keeps up in December when you're getting 3.5 peak sun hours, it'll be overproducing like crazy in June with 6 peak sun hours. So when someone gives you a single number, you need 12 panels, they're oversimplifying a complex question. Let me show you the right way to think about this, but real quick guys, if you haven't seen our video on how big of a home battery do you really need, I urge you to give it a watch. Just like this video, it breaks down the actual number of battery to fit your specific home situation. Link is in the description. Okay, let's start with your Tesla Powerwall 3 specs. 13.5 kilowatt hours of usable storage, 11.5 kilowatts continuous output. Charges from empty to full in about 1 to 2 hours if you have enough solar. Now the simple formula most calculators use is this. Battery capacity in kilowatt hours divided by peak sun hours divided by panel wattage in kilowatts equals number of panels. So if we plug in Texas numbers, 13.5 kilowatt hour battery, 5 peak sun hours average for Texas, 0.4 kilowatt panels, that is 400 watt panels, which are standard. That gives us 13.5 divided by 5 divided by 0.4 equals 6.75 panels. So let's call it 7 panels. 7 panels to charge a Powerwall. Sounds great, right? Wrong. This calculation makes 3 massive assumptions that are almost never true. Assumption number 1, you're only charging the battery. Your home uses 0 electricity during the day. Assumption number 2, 100% of your solar production makes it to the battery. In reality, you lose about 4% in the inverter, another 10 to 15% to temperature effects in summer, and maybe 2 to 3% to soiling. And assumption number 3, you get perfect sun every single day, but in reality, you might get a cloudy week in January, and suddenly those 7 panels are only producing at 60% capacity. So that 7 panels number, in the real world, it's more like 12 to 14 panels minimum. And that's if you're only trying to charge the battery and offset daytime usage. If you want to fully offset your electric bill and keep your battery topped off, you're looking at 16 to 20 panels. Let me show you 2 Texas homes so you can see exactly how this works. Starting with the first family, the Rodriguez family lives in Pearland, just south of Houston. They have a 2,400 square foot home with 4 people, 2 adults, 2 teenagers. Their daily electricity usage is 35 kilowatt hours per day on average. Then in summer, with AC running, it goes up to 45 kilowatt hours. Their goal is to use solar and their Powerwall to cover 100% of their electricity needs, both day and night. They want to fully charge the Powerwall every day so they have backup power for the next outage, and they want to offset their entire electric bill. Okay, here is what they need. During the day, they need to generate. Their home uses approximately 35 kilowatt hours per day. About 40% of that happens during the day, so we need roughly 14 kilowatt hours just to power the home while the sun is out, plus 13.5 kilowatt hours to fully charge the Powerwall, plus about 15% extra to account for losses. That's 14 plus 13.5 times 1.15 equals 31.6 kilowatt hours of solar production needed per day. In Perlin, they get about 5 peak sun hours. So 31.6 kilowatt hours divided by 5 hours equals 6.3 kilowatt system size needed. With 400 watt panels, that's 6,300 divided by 400 equals 16 panels. We installed a 6.4 kilowatt system with 16 panels for the Rodriguez family. Here's the result for that. In summer, their battery hits 100% by 2 p.m., then exports excess to grid. In winter, their battery reaches 90 to 95% most days, then pulls a small amount from the grid. And interestingly, their annual electric bill reduced by 95%. Their payback period is 6 to 7 years. This is what a daily cycling system looks like when sized correctly. Secondly, let's talk about the Chen family in Austin. They have a 2,800 square foot home, 4 people. Daily usage is about 32 kilowatt hours per day. Their goal is to reduce their electric bill significantly, keep their Powerwall topped off for backup power, but they're okay with still paying Austin Energy for some grid power. They're targeting about 70% bill offset, not full elimination. Here is what they need. During the day, they need to generate 32 kilowatt hours times 0.7 equals 22.4 kilowatt hours to offset 70% of their usage. About 40% happens during the day, which is equal to 9 kilowatt hours, plus 13.5 kilowatt hours to charge the Powerwall, plus 15% for losses. That's 9 plus 13.5 times 1.15 equals 25.9 kilowatt hours of solar production needed per day. In Austin, they get about 5.2 peak sun hours, so 25.9 kilowatt hours divided by 5.2 hours equals 5.0 kilowatt system size needed. With 400 watt panels, that's 5,000 divided by 400 equals 12 to 13 panels. We installed a 5.2 kilowatt system with 13 panels for the Chen family, and here is their result. In summer, they hit their 70% offset goal easily, sometimes 75 to 85%. During winter, they hit about 60% offset. Their annual electric bill was cut from $2,100 to about $650. Their Powerwall stays at 90% plus charge year-round. And here, guys, is the sweet spot for a lot of Texas homeowners. You know, meaningful savings without the higher upfront cost of a full offset system. Now, here's the scary part. We ran the same calculations on dozens of Texas homes, and we found that most Powerwall systems installed today are dramatically undersized. Some by 20%, some by 40%, and a few were so badly sized the homeowner would never see the performance they were promised. So how do you make sure that doesn't happen to you? All right, let's make this practical. Here's how. Step 1. Know your daily electricity usage. Check your electric bill or your utilities app. Look for kilowatt hours used over the last month, divide by 30 days. That's your daily average. Step 2. Decide your goal. Ask yourself, what am I actually trying to accomplish? Do I want a full or partial offset? Step 3. Know your peak sun hours. Step 4. Calculate your system size. Take your daily kilowatt hours needed and divide by peak sun hours. Step 5. Convert to panel count. Most modern panels are 400 to 430 watts. To be conservative, use 400 watts, 0.4 kilowatts. Number of panels equals system size kilowatts divided by 0.4. Look, I know this is a lot of math, and honestly, most people don't want to calculate this themselves. They just want an honest answer from someone who's not trying to undersize their system to win the lowest bid. That's why we recommend reviewing your specific situation, especially if you already got quotes and want a second opinion. Schedule a free consultation at IntegrateSun.com. We'll pull your actual usage data, analyze your roof with satellite imagery, and show you exactly what you need. And here's the thing, we'll tell you if you're being undersized or oversized. Because our goal isn't to sell you the most panels, it's to sell you the right number of panels. We've installed over 1,000 systems across Texas, and we've seen every variation of the how many panels for Powerwall question. We know what actually works, not just what looks good on paper. Your actual number depends on your usage, location, and goals. But now you know how to calculate it and how to spot when an installer is undersizing your system. Thanks for watching. If this helped you understand solar sizing for Powerwall, hit that like button and subscribe. See you in the next one.